The Jets' wide receiver core is a little lacking. I mean, Robbie Anderson he was very good last year, but let's face it, this guy is, as a receiver, he's reliable. As a human being, he's not very reliable. So, he's like one arrest away from not only being off the Jets, but being out of the league. And he doesn't, I don't know that he actually cares, which is the bigger problem. He seems to do like one stupid thing a year, and that requires police involvement.
Well, only one stupid thing isn't that bad, brother.
One isn't bad. One a year is bad. So, this is the guy, and I was a big champion of this guy last year when he was talking about he wants to be in the Pro Bowl and he thinks he's and I was like, have at it. If you want to campaign for yourself because nobody's paying attention to you, but you're having a really good year, be my guest. Say whatever you're going to say and put it out there. But he followed that up a few weeks later with getting arrested. All right? Now, I'm not saying you need to be a choir boy to be a Pro Bowler, but you need to be you need to be on the field and you need to be a fairly solid citizen.
It certainly helps.
So
it certainly helps. Let's be honest.
That's kind of the point that I'm making here is you look at what the Giants said after they signed Odell Beckham Jr. to the extension, and what was the big part of it that John Mara was saying? We like what we've seen as far as Odell growing up.
Yeah,
he's become a more responsible person. He's become more mature. Those are big words with franchises. And Robbie Anderson needs to get to that point. Because if he does, he'll get paid. And paid big.
Right.
And let's face it, anybody playing in the NFL, that's the goal. Winning a Super Bowl is one goal, but getting paid is by absolutely every stretch of the imagination is the other goal. Sure. And to do everything he can to try to screw that up, I don't get it. So we'll see. But I would like to see the Jets with another dependable receiver, somebody with some sure hands, somebody that can has a little bit of speed. And I don't know who it's going to be, and that guy might not, in fact, probably isn't on the roster right now. And that issue probably will need to be addressed in the draft this coming season. But that's an issue for the Jets is the receiver position.
Well, we'll find out tonight.
We'll see if somebody emerges tonight, and I'm very curious to see what the Jets bring defensively, because in the last couple of drafts between Jamal Adams, Leonard Williams, they've gotten some good pieces in the draft, and I'm curious to see where these guys are as far as their development goes. Adams, a second-year player, Williams, a third-year player. These are guys who really need to start coming into their own and showing what they're capable of. But both of those guys, to me, are your defensive leaders, and like I said, I'm very curious to see how they can handle the Lions, how they can handle Matthew Stafford, who is a crazy, unpredictable passer. He's a guy who. He's the definition of gunslinger as far as NFL quarterbacks go. He'll throw any pass anytime, and he's the kind of guy who is the way he plays will allow fans to see what kind of defense the Jets are going to have, because he's a real tough test for a defense.
Okay,
so we'll see how it goes tonight. It's going to be a fun game to watch. I hope.
Yeah, we hope so.
I'm sure Bills fans were saying that yesterday too. It's going to be a fun game to watch, and then they got beat 47-3.
Yeah, where's Joe Ritter to defend him? Anyway, Aaron Rodgers. When I was watching the game last night,
how about Aaron Rodgers? Oof.
And if he had landed on his knee a different way, the way. It was a sideways thing. It was a little more sideways. He'd be out for the season,
probably,
because that injury happens so often in football now, where they're going down and then a guy comes in and the knee is already bent the wrong way anyway.
Yep.
So he got very lucky that he was first of all able to walk off and then able to come back. So, I was like, wow, and good for him. I like Aaron Rodgers, he's a good player, and
One of the few guys, brother, I don't care how much money he makes, he's worth the money.
Yeah, he's
absolutely worth the money.
Yep.
And he signed a monster extension a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
Worth it. Just showed it yesterday. I would love it if at the press conference after that game, if he just looked out in the room and said, "So, am I worth the money? Tell me. Go ahead. Well, do a couple of discount double checks with all of that nonsense
and do a little jig or something." Anyway, we love seeing the Cowboys lose, brother. It's a natural thing.
They really, oh my God, that was so bad yesterday.
So, I don't know why. I mean, we always hated the Cowboys as New York fans, especially if you're a Giant fan. But you know what? Rooting against the Cowboys is like rooting against the Orioles. You know, you hate the owner so much that you don't mind when they continually lose.
You know, I want to say, I think it was 3 years ago on this show, I predicted that the Cowboys were going to win 2 Super Bowls in the next 3 years.
Did you?
Because their offensive line was that good, and they had put together a good defense. And I really thought, and that was like right when Dak Prescott was, you know, people thought, oh, this guy's the quarterback of the future. I can't believe how bad the Cowboys are now. It's unbelievable how awful they were yesterday. The offense can't do anything. Dak Prescott can't complete a pass. He's got nothing at wide receiver. And like I said before, the teams were loading up the box against Ezekiel Elliott, and he didn't really do much of anything yesterday. So, I mean, I can't imagine the Giants. If the Giants lose to the Cowboys next week, they got problems. Because the Cowboys really are
like a 3-13 season.
If they lose to the Cowboys,
no, not the Jets. For
the Cowboys. I could see 5-11.
Okay,
they're not very good, and you know for what they were doing yesterday, you know the Panthers are a pretty good team. Don't get me wrong, but the Cowboys didn't do anything against them. 16-8.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Come on, that's not. There's not much there, and that's bad building of a team. That's bad drafting. That's drafting bad guys. You know, there's some talk about that Randy Gregory might be suspended again for being back on the drugs, but that might not have. Now the NFL is saying that they might deal with repeat drug offenders with rehab as opposed to suspensions, because apparently some research they've done says that that's a better way to deal with it. And I don't necessarily disagree with that.
Well, you know what? They can that way they don't look so bad suspending if it's a true addict,
right,
a drug addict. Then
because Randy Gregory's problem is you know, I'm not sure which one, but marijuana or cocaine. It's not steroids.
Yeah, well,
steroids I can see. Suspend him, whatever you're going to do, because that's the guy who's cheating. Marijuana should be, as far as I'm concerned, and I don't care what people have to say about this in response. Marijuana for the NFL should be legal.
Oh, the pain these
guys for all the
opioids
opioids they're pumping into these guys.
Right.
Let them smoke a joint.
Yeah.
I mean, secondly, it's legal in how many states the NFL is in.
Well, it's Denver, California.
So, but now New
Jersey's coming soon.
You're still penalizing players who live in these states where it's legal.
Right.
So, how does that make any sense?
That's something they have to. All of sports has to figure out.
Exactly. You know, but especially the NFL.
Well, yeah, the NFL. We're going to take a break right now. You're listening to From the Press Box right here on 90.3 WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College. If you have a comment or question, give us a call, 516-572-7440.
This program on WHPC is brought to you in part by Nassau Community College, which puts the power to succeed in your hands with flexible class schedules and over 80 degree and certificate programs.
Add in their 225-acre campus, 150 student clubs, and over 20 athletic teams, and you've got the amenities of a major university close to home.
More information is available online at ncc.edu.
Answer me! Who taught you to listen to Radio Rumble at 12 p.m. on Saturday afternoons?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
I'd
buy that for $1.
The Radio Rumble has it all.
Humanity will suffer with me.
Movie reviews.
No kind of Sandys, you're wrong.
Sports talk.
Hi, sports fans. I'm Doug Frisch-Preed.
Awesome music.
Excellent!
So listen Saturday afternoons at 12 p.m. for The Radio Rumble on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
I learned it by watching you.
All hit music. For all those songs radio has forgotten about. Join me, Big Ed, Mondays from 10 a.m. till noon for The Good Gold Show. We'll bring back all the great hits of the 50s, 60s, 70s, and more. The sounds of doo-wop to disco, all the Motown, soul, and great rock and roll. We'll even take your requests and dedications to The Good Gold Show. Music. On the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC, and streaming on the iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back to From the Press Box, right here on 90.3 WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College. Of course, From the Press Box is part of the WHPC Sports Talk family. 9 a.m. Mondays, 5 p.m. Mondays, 5 p.m. Tuesdays. Sports Talk Thursday, 9 p.m. And, of course, WHPC Sports Talk on Fridays at 3 p.m. All different shows, all new shows. All calls and call-in shows. If you want to call in, 516-572-7440. My name is Rob Leonard. Of course, he is award-winning sports writer Tim Leonard, and we'll talk some football for most of the show so far. Let's go to the Yankees, brother. What's right or wrong with them right now? Because they're playing well, but are they? I don't know.
Not a lot is right now.
They seem to be something wrong with them. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I'm not going to go that far. Let's keep it factual here. The Yankees still have the second best record in baseball. So I'm not going to be one of these people who sits here and gripes about the Yankees and says, "Oh, they're not playing well, or they're not doing this or that." You know what? If again, and I said this, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, if the Red Sox weren't having the kind of season they're having, Yankee fans would be thrilled right now. All right, everybody would be, "Oh, we're in first place," and it would all be the we. Now, though, because they're in second place, it's all they, with a lot of fans.
Right.
So the Yankees, they went on the West Coast trip. Nobody was expecting it to go well because it never goes well. All right, so they lost 2 out of 3 to the Athletics, which was not encouraging because right now that's what it looks to be the wild card game,
right,
coming down the stretch.
Right.
And then they won 2 out of 3 against the Seattle Mariners. Could have had the sweep yesterday, but hey, you take 2 out of 3 on the road in Seattle, you're doing all right. They go to Minnesota tonight.
Considering Seattle is not playing bad either. They're over 500.
But they were playing better earlier in the season. And I will say, I'm going to say this right now, brother. I'm going to call myself out because
look at this.
Back in, I think it was July. Yeah, probably around July, probably early July, probably around the 4th of July. I said that we already knew who the 5 playoff teams were going to be in the American League, and I listed the Red Sox and the Yankees,
right,
and the Indians and the Astros, and I said the Seattle Mariners.
You did,
and then the Oakland Athletics started playing like it was the Moneyball year, where they just kept winning game after game after game. And Oakland's a good team. They've gotten fortunate with some of the free agents they picked up, and things have come together for them pitching-wise. But I have no doubt, and all you have to do is look at the standings, and you'll have no doubt that that team is going to the postseason. So right now, the Oakland Athletics have the 4th best record in the American League. The Yankees and the Houston Astros are tied at 89 and 54, but Oakland is 87 and 57. So they're only two and a half games behind the Yankees for the home field advantage in the wild card game.
Right,
a little close, closer than I'd like it to be.
Yeah, but the wild card's only one game though.
Yeah,
so,
but that's a problem. That's why you want it at home, because you don't want. If you're the Yankees, I'm trying to remember who their last. I think the last game was with the Red Sox. So you're going to be flying across the country if you have to play at Oakland. I don't want that.
No,
the Yankees don't want that. They don't want to have to deal with a cross country flight, and then you play the next day at a ballpark. It's not a great ballpark. So
That's not a good ball.
Stay ahead of Oakland. Start playing a little better. The Yankees have been